The Sony ZV-E10 Mark II is a really solid camera, but how the settings come out of box are kind of a mess. Let's speed things up for you with some thoughtful customization to some of the buttons and my favorite efficiency hack, memory recall. Nitro with the shot. Judge me. I know you were wondering. The first thing that we're going to do is put the camera in manual mode so that we can do all of these settings. I'm going to show you what works well for me for both video and photo when it comes to custom buttons. All right, the first thing we need to know about customizing these buttons is simply how to remap some of the buttons. So down here at the setup menu, this yellow menu, I'm going to go to this Operation Customize tab. I'm going to go to the right. We can do this for both photo, that's that icon there, and then for video down here, we're going to start in video today and we'll take a look at photo in just 1 second. So generally speaking, yours are going to look a lot different. Mine are all customized versus what they come out of box, but how to remap is you just click on the button that you want to remap, which right now, and you can look on the right side of that camera diagram, and what you can see there is it's actually just highlighting in orange the button that you're about to remap. Okay, so if I want to take this custom button 1 down here, in this case on the camera it's the trash cam, when I click on that, I can go through the menu and I can choose almost any setting. They are a little bit different for different buttons, but almost any setting in the camera. Let's say I wanted to remap that to my cinematic vlog setting. I would just click on that and that would be done. So I don't want to do that. How I have this first one customized or mapped is under color and tone. Under white balance, I have it set for white balance. And the reason for that is when I click that, I can then go in and I can quickly access different white balance settings. At the end of this video, I'll talk a lot more about what all of these settings do, but let's just keep running through how I have them set up for maximum efficiency in our ZV-E10 Mark II. Moving into number 2, we have the Zebra Display Select is what I have set there. And what that does, simply speaking, is it's just toggling zebras. When I hit that, it's toggling zebras on or off. Zebras being my preferred exposure tool, I want quick access to that. And then the left press here on this wheel, I have that set to zebra level. So in conjunction with turning zebras on and off on the center dial, real close to that, if I push left on my wheel, then I have quick access to what levels am I setting these zebras at in the first place. All right, moving along. Number 4 on this right, I have that as not set. That is because down here, I have my wheel changed to ISO. So when I'm just changing my ISO, all I have to do is spin the wheel and that's going to change the ISO. Maybe I'm heavy-handed, but whenever I'm spinning that wheel, it's usually to the right to increase ISO. I always press down on that. So I don't want it to do anything and like start some kind of setting or function that I don't want it to do, which is why I have that at not set. Number 5, when I press down on the dial, I have that set to focus area. So real quickly, when I press down, I can quickly change between what focus area do I want to use for a different type of shot. Right now, I have that set in zone. And that actually brings me to the second point here. So the second tab, my top button, my C1 button, my custom 1 button, I have that set to focus standard. Why? Let's just say that, let's say I'm in zone. The first time that you click after going in focus area, you can move this around, but let's say that I wanted my focus area to be top center there, and then I wanted to change it really quickly. Well, I don't want to like go back into focus area, reselect zone, and then move it around. What I can do on my C1 button, that focus standard, I just click that and it automatically gives me ability to change that spot around. And number 2, that's just our red record button up top. I have that set to movie shooting. This one I have is not set. If you happen to have a lens that has a custom button on it, you can change that to something. I use a variety of lenses. Some have custom buttons, some don't, so I don't want to get used to having something there if I'm not always going to have it available. And then we get 2 dials on the E10 Mark II, which I wish we had more. 1 more dial would be amazing, but then we're pretty much the A6700 at that point. But this first one here, this top dial, I have that set to aperture. Usually yours is going to look something like this. I find that to be a little bit confusing, to be honest, so I just really just drop it straight down into aperture so that when I spin that dial up top, I'm just changing my aperture. I don't have my shutter speed set to anything because for video, usually my shutter is just locked off at twice the frame rate. 1/60 is twice the frame rate of 30 in this case, and I don't ever change that. So it's just for exposure in conjunction with zebras as my indicators. I have my f-stop and I have my ISO to change for exposure. And lastly, we already looked at this. I have my wheel set to ISO for just a quick adjustment to change my ISO to get the scene brighter or darker. And if you like how this video looks with these subtle blue tones while maintaining a natural skin tone, let me just turn it off. Ready? I'm going to turn it off. That is all thanks to my custom LUTs, which, let me turn the essential LUT back on in 3, 2, 1. The essential custom LUT is back on. You can pick them up with a link down below if you want to make your videos look like mine, and make sure you use this discount code if you want to save a little bit as well. And shifting over here to some of our photo custom buttons. Under this first one here, I'll just show you, you can have them follow the same things you had set for video, which I do think for this camera in particular is a good choice. But under Operation Customize, you can just see here, follow custom video icon. That just means it's going to follow the same things from video. For photo, a lot of these are going to be useful, right? So this bottom one here is changing your white balance that we had from our video settings. This is zebras on. I use zebras for exposure for both photo and video. Same thing, zebra levels. Not set because my ISO wheel for photo is the wheel is ISO just like I had it for video, and I don't want to hard press that and have it do something I don't want to. Pressing down is for my focus area. Up top here, I'm changing that focus standard, changing the focus point. This is one thing that I do change is I change the record button. I definitely don't want it to be like start movie recording. If I'm in photo mode, the last thing I want to do is like accidentally flip over to video with the wrong settings, so I don't want that. I changed that to drive mode. What that's going to do is when I click that, it's just going to put me in, do I want single, do I want to shoot in like burst, do I want to have a timer on or some kind of bracket settings. I just feel like, maybe it's just me, but it's like intuitive, is like that red record button when I'm in photo mode is like what speed of photo, what type of photos do you want to take? Does that make sense? Just me? Anyways, continuing through here, after that drive mode adjustment, when it comes to the lens option here, I'm all messed up. When it comes to the lens option, I have that custom button is not set for the exact same reasons. Although if you have just 1 or 2 lenses and they all have custom buttons, that might work well for like eye autofocus or maybe like your subject recognition or something. So if I were to go here, go to autofocus, manual focus, subject recognition, I could see this being a good one is like what kind of target do you want to hit, and like changing that one really quickly of like a person or an animal, depending what type of photos you take. And then I have these set the exact same. This is my wheel set to ISO, and I still have my dial up top set for aperture. I don't want to change them too much from what I had them in video. The only difference here is for photos, I will adjust my shutter speed a bit more. So that's something where I'll just like use the touchscreen of the camera and I'll tap the shutter and be able to change it quickly, knowing that my ISO and my aperture have the exact same buttons to change them that I had in video mode. So you can do memory recall for both photo and video mode. I'm going to show you how to do this in video, but if you want to do it in photo and video, just flip the toggle up top for video and photo and follow these steps. Memory recall, hands down, is one of my favorite efficiency hacks in these cameras. So what this is, let's go into the memory recall settings here. So under shooting mode, under our shooting tab here, number 4, shooting mode, you have camera set memory. And then you have these shoot modes here, which these work in conjunction. So when I'm in that shoot mode, when I click that, maybe you're in like manual and you push down to memory recall 1, you push to the right and you have these 3 containers. Okay, so that's how you get to them. But camera set memory, when I click that, you also have these 3 containers. Let's talk about the differences. Here's what you want to do, is you want to set your camera up. Maybe you do 3 types of shot, maybe like a YouTube interview type of shot in the same studio every time. Maybe you have like an outdoor vlog shot with more like dynamic changes, and maybe you have like a slow motion. Those are the 3 that you do often, or whatever the 3 are for you. They're usually relatively similar settings in the camera, but there's always some changes. What you want to do is go into the camera and set everything up exactly how you want it for that first type of shot. Whether that be maybe you have it's a slow motion shot, so you want your focus speeds to be really high. So you would go in and you would set up your camera to make sure that your focus speeds are really high. Maybe it's one where you're going to be wanting like auto white balance. I wouldn't if it was me, but maybe you want auto white balance. Maybe you don't want that zone focus mode. Maybe you want to have like a wide focus mode. Maybe what you want to be recording in is like 60 frames a second as opposed to 30. Maybe you want to be in XAVC SI for your codec. Anyways, go in and change everything that you want for that type of shot, your basic settings. You might change them a little bit once you're like in the field or getting your shot a little bit, but what's like the 85-90% of how you want things set? Once you do that in camera, get it exactly how you want, simply go into your menu here. You're going to go into this first one, not shoot mode, but camera set memory. You're going to click that and you're going to choose one of these 3 containers to register those settings to. Once you click it, I'm not going to do it because we just changed all that, but once you click it, it will say registered. And now when you go into shoot mode and you maybe drop below manual and into this memory recall and you choose that same container, it's going to only load up all of those settings as you had them registered previously. So 3 different types of shots. If you take the time to go in and register all those settings, and you can even see, for me, my number 1 is my interview type of shot, manual mode, 1/60. For me in this scene, I need f2.2 at an ISO of 800, 4K 30p, 422 10-bit, white balance at 5600. I have my S-Log3 conversion LUT on there. Number 2 is actually shutter priority. This is my vlog style shot where I have auto white balance on, I have auto ISO on, and that's just more of a dynamic scene. The number 3, my frames go to 60 frames a second, and my shutter speed is going to double that at 1/125. My focus speeds are different. Anyway, so you can kind of play with these containers and be able to save a tremendous amount of time when it comes between just simply clicking one of those if you registered them properly, as opposed to going in and changing everything every single time. And as promised, this is a deep dive in all my systems for how and what all of the settings do if you want to get cinematic videos in your Sony ZV-E10 Mark II. And this one is the same thing, but for photos. If you combine all the knowledge of both of those deep dives, plus custom buttons and memory recall, woo! Anyways, I'll see you in the next video. Take care. See ya.